Hello and welcome to another Knit365 blog, podcast, video. My name is Martin and I'm recording this today on Saturday the 6th of February from my home in Cardiff in the UK. It's an action-packed agenda for today. This is the first roundup video for 2021. Where I'm going to talk about my adventures in crafting. Spoiler alert, there's some sewing coming up, so it's not just knitting and crochet today. All of the things that I worked on in January. So I hope that you've got a cup of tea, coffee, hot beverage. If it's after 5 o'clock in wherever you are in the world and you like to partake in a tipple, I hope you're joining me in a gin and tonic. It's 11:45 here, so it's a bit early for me to have a gin, but I'll definitely be having one later on today. So today's edition is going to follow the usual format of my roundup videos. So we'll talk about finished objects, works in progress, stash top-ups. There have been a few. We have the winners to be drawn for the giveaway, my New Year giveaway, where I'm offering up a bag or two bags from the Little Grey Girl to you, my lovely community. So we have the giveaway to do, and there's also a little bit of sewing. I mentioned in my goals video at the start of the year that I had a sewing machine, wanted to learn a little bit more about sewing, and I've got some things to share with you. So I think without further ado, let's just jump straight in, shall we? We'll start with what I'm wearing. This is my Starflake shawl. It's really sunny, so it looks quite bright in here, but it's only about 3 degrees. It's quite cold. I know I'm going to be talking. I know I'm going to get warm. So I've put a shawl on just to keep me warm, but if I get too hot, I can easily take it off. But this is my West Knits Starflake shawl. This was the 2019 Mystery Knit Along. There's the brioche. If you've watched a while, you know I'm not a fan of brioche. This was my first attempt, but I did it. So I'm wearing this for a little bit of warmth today. This is made in wool by Twisted Finch. I will try and link his Instagram account below for you to find out more about the wool. This was one of the kits that Stephen and Penelope were selling for the Mystery Knit Along. So yes, nice little shawl to keep me warm as we get going. So, most important thing to start the video with, as always, let's declare works in progress. So, I currently have, I was going to say we currently have, but no, I currently have, because it's all down to me. I currently have 13 works in progress. That is one up from last month. So it's going in the wrong direction. We're not getting things finished. I'm just starting new things. It's fine. They will get done at some point. We have some finished objects to share today. We can polish the halo. It's fine. So 13 works in progress, but of course, if you've watched some of my other videos, you'll know that there are a few on the frog list that I'm going to undo. I keep talking about it. I haven't undone them. So we'll still declare them as a work in progress because they are taking up a project bag. But there are 3 that are going to be undone and turned into other projects. I think I have talked about that in past videos. And of course, I'll talk about that when we get to the new projects and I'm undoing the wool. So 13 works in progress. However, I do have 2 finished objects to share, but then maybe 2, you might count it as 1 or you might not count it as any. Very cryptic. We'll get to that in a moment. So first finished object for 2021 is this lovely flax light sweater. So this is by Tin Can Knits, and it is the lovely flax pattern, simple top-down jumper with a raglan shaping on the sleeves. We have this lovely sort of signature for Tin Can Knits garter stitch panel that comes down the arm. So this is made in size 5 to 6 I think it's size 5 to 6. So this is for niece 1. She chose the colour. This is West Yorkshire Spinners Bo Peep. I don't know what the colourway is. I've forgotten, so I'll pop it on screen. And it is a 52% wool and 48% nylon. I made niece 1 a jumper 18 months or so ago. It was made in 100% wool. I personally thought the wool was quite soft. She tried it on and went, Uncle Marty, this is lovely. It's really itchy. Out of the mouths of babes. They have no filter. They just tell you what they think, which is great because you know where you stand. But she loved it, and it did soften up a little bit, but she hasn't worn it as much. So she asked me to make her a jumper, and her only stipulation was that it was purple and it was soft. So I've got some lovely Bo Peep yarn. I love West Yorkshire Spinners wool. I've used the Bo Peep a number of times. This is actually their 4-ply yarn. I've used their double knit. And yeah, it was even though it's 4-ply, it was quite a quick project. So that's the first finished object. And then the second finished object, I have done another flax light. So this one is aged 4 to 6. I think I'm getting these sizes wrong. No, this is aged 3 to 4. 5 to 6, 3 to 4. I really should just know my niece's ages, shouldn't I? That would be a lot easier. This is for niece 2. So I know this is the carousel colourway, and it's on the ball. It's this lovely mild pinky white grey, which knits up into these lovely stripes. And of course, on the arms, the stripes are slightly longer. So I can't knit for one and not knit for the other. Hence, we have a flock of flax. So I've done 2 flaxes. These are the flax light because they're made with 4-ply yarn. The standard flax, which I think came first, that is in an Aran or a worsted weight yarn. So yeah, I'm really pleased. I've got 2 things off the needles. My only comment, and it's probably me, I have started a flax sweater for myself. I've got about this much left to go on the body and then to do the sleeves. I don't know why I stopped. I haven't knit it for over a year. It's in the corner calling to me. It's one of my works in progress. But that's made in, I'm doing it in 100% wool, but also because it's an Aran weight, it's really dense and it's really thick and snuggly. As I was working on this, and it's not my tension, I've checked my tension, I'm about a stitch out. So it's not significantly different for the tension in the pattern, but it's a little airy. And I think that's because it's 4-ply wool. And I've never made a garment in 4-ply, apart from a shawl or socks. So I don't know, I'm perfectly happy with it. The material is lovely. It's a really lightweight jumper. And I think for kids, it's fine. I didn't do the shaping. There's an option to add some short row shaping to obviously raise the neck up. The pattern says for young children, they don't bother. And they can really just put the jumper on front or back. It's identical, so it's easy for kids to wear. So I've done that. But yeah, it's a little bit airy. And I think it's probably because it's a light flax. It's a lightweight jumper. It's not meant to be dense and squishy as I would expect a jumper to be. So that's my only comment, but I think that's probably because it's 4-ply. But again, if you've got any thoughts, please let me know below if that's normal. I don't think it's my tension, as I said. But there we go. So I have 2 jumpers, and now that I've kept them to show you, I will be able to deliver them, physically distanced of course, to the nieces. And we've actually got a cold snap coming in the next few weeks. So hopefully just in time to give them a little bit of extra warmth as they are both at home. So that's 2 finished objects, and that's the first 2 finished objects for 2021. I'm going to try and keep a tally because I did my end of year roundup video and I talked about all of the things that I'd made. I'm going to try and keep a tally. So we're on 2 so far, and then we'll update that month by month along with my works in progress. And hopefully the works in progress are going to go down, the finished items are going to go up, and we've got a happy Martin. So that's those 2. I wish you could see the chaos that is here. So I'm going to start stacking behind me because I need to make some space. Then the next finished objects. So as I said, I'm going to call this 2 finished objects to start with, but you may agree it's not even 1 finished object. So picture the scene. For those of you that have watched a few videos, you will know that I live with my boyfriend, Mark. He loves all of my knits. He doesn't knit or crochet. He's really encouraging of my hobby and likes to send me patterns and say, can you make this? Yes, which is fantastic. And for the last 3 or 4 years, we get to December, we're decorating the tree, and he says, oh, wouldn't it be nice if we had some hand knit baubles? To which I reply, yes, it would be lovely. Do we end up with hand knit baubles? No, we don't. So I do need to confess now, I know it's February, but we're going to have the small mention of Christmas. It'll be very fleeting, but I set myself a little goal. So I am planning on making the Arne and Carlos bauble collection. So I saw this pattern in December, and I think they actually did a knit along Advent style in December where they knit a ball a day. And yeah, I really love them. There's lots of great Scandinavian style patterns with that little reindeer there, little gingerbread man. So I've set myself a challenge. I, again, have mentioned in previous videos that I work a 9-day fortnight at work. So I have every other Monday off work, my knitting day. So my knitting day 2 weeks ago, I made some baubles. So I've set myself a challenge. The first knitting day of each month, I'm going to make 2 baubles. And by the time we get to December, I should have done all 24 of my baubles. So I've done the Christmas tree. So you can see the little Christmas tree, the little Fair Isle pattern. And then this one is more of a traditional Fair Isle, just a simple design. You will obviously be wondering why the colours don't match. I've bought the wool, so I'm using the same wool that they recommend in the pattern. So this is Rowan, I've squashed the ball. This is Rowan Soft Alpaca DK, and it is 70% wool and 30% alpaca. However, I've chosen colours that go more with the decoration of the flat. So we've got this lovely cream and a grey. What I thought was a yellow that here looks more of a greeny colour. In real life, it's more of a mustard. And then this lovely teal. And they're absolutely colours that match the decor of the flat. And then in turn match the Christmas tree. So we don't have a traditional tree. If you watched any of my Vlogmas videos, there's no reds and greens. Mark won't have it in the flat. He likes the tree to match the interior. So we have teals, yellows, greys. There's a little bit of green, but not a great deal. So I bought some wool and I am going to carry on with my baubles. So you will either count this as 2 finished objects, because technically I have done 2 baubles, or you won't count it as any finished objects really, because I need to knit all of the baubles in order to finish the project. But I'm going to claim this as 2 for now. We'll see. So yeah, the wool is lovely. I bought it from Lucy at Perlerow. I will pop Lucy's details in below. Lucy is a Rowan stockist, and I saw that she had all of these colours available. And of course, my wool is living in a little grey girl bag from the lovely Gem. This is one of the London editions. This is the medium bag, I believe, but I rammed them in, but I've managed to get 1, 2, 3, 4. I've managed to get 8 balls in here, plus the 2 baubles. So there's no room for anything else, but it's in. So yeah, so that's my knitting project. They're all going to live in here. And then my first non-work day of every month, I'm going to make 2 baubles. They were fiddly, spoiler alert. They're done on double points, and starting them off, because you start off with such small stitches. I think you start off with 12 stitches, so just 3 on each. I nearly threw the first bauble across the room, nearly decided that I was going to burn all the wool because I was never going to use it, because it was going to taunt me that I couldn't do it. Had another cup of tea, took a deep breath, and I made it work. It's fine. It's just very fiddly, and I've got big hands to use little tiny double points. But we got there. So they're quite a decent size, actually, if I kind of put my hand for comparison. My plan, I'll make them all, and then I'll sew them all and stuff them in December. I'm a bit of a production knitter, so I will make all of the outers and then I can sew them all together. I can stuff them all at the same time, so I'll work through in a bit of a production cycle, and also they take up less room, quite frankly, because if I stuff them as I'm going, I don't know where they're going to live. So I'm going to claim that as another finished object. So that's 3 finished objects for January 2021. We'll do a happy dance. Okay, then this is half a finished object, and this moves us into work in progress. So I showed in my end of year wrap-up video that I was very kindly given this kit by my parents for Christmas. This is the Millet. I'll pop the details below. I'm probably not pronouncing it correctly. It's the Millet glove by Isolde Teague, and I've nearly finished one glove. Haven't done a thumb. So I just love this. Oh, the pattern flew off. I went from here to here in 3 nights, just doing a few rounds as I was going. It's such a great stitch pattern. Every other round, you're just knitting plain in the navy, and then you have this fleece stitch, sort of Scandinavian motif every other. The crown is just glorious with this lovely star shape. Yes, so I finished one mitten minus the thumb, and I am this far on the second mitten. So this is going to be a work in progress that I'll continue to work on during February. It's a really great construction, and I don't think I'm giving anything away in the pattern, but you do the outside cuff in this lovely colour work design, and then you switch to some ribbon. What you then do is you turn the whole thing inside out, and then you knit the body of the mitt. And what that means is when you then fold the glove over, you've got this lovely rib style on the inside, and it is really squishy around your wrist, and it's lovely. You can't really see that, but take my word, it's very squishy. So I just need to do the thumb on this mitten. The thumb has the same star motif as the top of the glove. Again, being a production style knitter, I'm going to make both gloves and then I'll do both thumbs, partly because I know it's going to be fiddly. So the thumb is sitting on waste yarn. I'm going to need to use double pointed needles again. And I think I've got 25, 26 stitches, so it's not a huge amount of stitches to work in the round, which is fine. I really love double pointed needles. I am not a magic looper at all, and I'm doing well with the small circumference needle, but I do quite like double points, but they can be fiddly, especially when you start. So I'm going to finish this. I've got loads of wool left, so obviously I haven't done the body of the second mitt, but I've got all of this navy and white, and I've got about 5 rows left on this ribbon, and I've got all this yellow left. So I'm gonna have enough to make another pair, certainly with the gold and the cream. So I might do a slightly different body color, but I'm definitely gonna make another pair, and Mark's already been eyeing up some. On the website, Isolde has a pair in red, grey and white, which look lovely. So I might make Mark a pair. So that's my millet mittens. I mentioned in my goals video that I wanted to do this pattern because I wanted to practice two-handed Fair Isle. So I have my main colour in my right hand, and then with my left, so I'm coming in and I'm picking with my left hand so that I can do 2 colour. And I did this whole mitten two-handed, and I'm so pleased. If I show you my floats, I think my floats look pretty even. I'm really happy with the tension. I experimented with two-handed Fair Isle a few years ago. I was very slow and I didn't continue doing it because I was too slow. The fox sweater that you may recall from the end of last year, I did that one-handed because I just didn't think I could do the two-handed to give me a consistent tension. But having worked on this small glove, I'm really pleased with the tension overall. So I will continue to do that two-handed. So I'm going to work on that throughout February. I just wanted to give a shout out to Anina from our community. When I mentioned my glove giveaway, Anina very kindly gifted me 2 of her patterns. So these are the Keep Dreaming mittens. I just love that, especially the underside. It's brilliant. And the other pattern is the Look Forward. Again, just fantastic. So it was such a lovely gift for me to receive from Anina. I'm going to pop details below of Anina's website. I'm not sure where I can buy the patterns from, but I will find out the details and I'll pop those below. So if any of you were interested in either the Keep Dreaming or the Look Forward gloves, please feel free to give Anina some Knit365 love and purchase that pattern. So thank you very much, Anina. That was such a lovely gift. And once I finish these, I think due to the success of my two-handed Fair Isle, I'll be on to the next lot of gloves. So that's the main work in progress. And then, that's the first work in progress, I should say. The next work in progress, and this is the only other thing I've really knit on. This is my Beauceron sweater by Vincent, I think, who designs under the name Baubles. I've shown this off previously in my goals video, but this is this lovely slip stitch. So Vincent's in this lovely gold and grey colour. I'm doing mine in this petrol-y teal colour with grey slip stitches. I won't talk about this too much because I'm doing a mini project vlog that I will hope to put up in February at some point later this month to talk about the yoke and how I got on. For those of you that have been here a while, you'll remember Santa bought me some stoppers so I can show this off without fear of dropping all of my stitches everywhere, as I have been known to do in videos. But I really like it. It's knit up. I did this on my last non-work day, so I haven't done any more on it since, but in the day I was able to cast it on. Sorry, tangled. I was able to cast it on. I've done some short row shaping around the back and have established the pattern. So there's the short row shaping on the ribbon. You can see it's very short. So this is the front, that's the back. And then we've established the pattern. It's quite an easy pattern to memorize, in as much as it's a 4 pattern repeat. First row, you are doing increases to obviously make the jumper grow. Then rows 2, 3, and 4 are pretty formulaic. It's the same every time. It's not the greatest for knitting for watching telly, I discovered, where I can't do my increases, count, and watch the TV at the same time. So it's kind of slowed progress-wise because I've not really had much time because work has been so crazy busy. I've needed something easy to do in the evenings, and of course the flax light sweaters were the main things that I've been doing while I'm watching telly. But I really love it. It's so squishy. So I'm using this lovely Croft by West Yorkshire Spinners. Again, this is 100% Shetland Isles. This is their DK weight. So the grey is Colsay and the teal green is Norby. So we have that ball here. So yeah, I just love it. It's very squishy for 100% wool. The inside is lovely. this lovely slip stitch motif, and it's going to be really thick and warm. So I'm going to try and do a lot more work on this now for the next couple of weeks, now that I finish my flax jumpers. So that and my gloves will be my main works in progress for the rest of February. I'm also going to make a start on a couple of other projects. Of course I am, because I can't just work on those two. I am going to start my Babette blanket, which is this. You'll recall a lovely scrappy project where you make all the individual squares. Some are really small, just a few rounds, some much bigger. I'm going to make this in leftover Rowan felted tweed that I have in my stash, plus a few extra balls that I picked up over Christmas. I need to sit down and just work through the colours, because I think the pattern calls for 20 something colours. I'm planning on doing mine with just 5 or 6 colours. So I want to just sit down with the pattern, work through how I'm going to switch my colours for the colours in the pattern, and then I can just get going. And I think that's going to be a great project that if I've only got half an hour, maybe in an evening, I'm not really in the mood for anything big, I can just whip up a couple of squares as I'm going. So I'm really keen to start my Babette, because that will be a great after work project. And my second project that I'm going to start, I didn't talk about this in my goals for 2021 video, because I didn't put any shawls on my goal list, because they take a long time. I fall in and out of love with knitting them, but I'm going to make a dotted rays shawl by Stephen West. You know I love West Knits. I love all of his knitting, all of his videos and patterns. This is a classic. I think lots of you have probably made a dotted rays. I've got 2 different types of wool in mind that are in my stash. I've got some lovely bluey denim-y colour wool. I think it's actually called a denim colourway by a lovely independent dyer, James Makes Yarn. And I've also got a purpley greeny colour by Countess Ablaze, and I'm not sure which one I'm going to use. I'm going to do this one because I think once I've established the pattern, it's a very easy knit, if I recall from talking to other people who've made one. And again, I've got my Bosa on, which needs concentration on the yoke for now. My gloves need concentration for the 2-hand and the Fair Isle. And now I've finished my flax sweaters, I don't really have anything that I can just sit and watch the telly with. So I'm hoping if I start that shawl, I can do a few repeats of an evening, and the same with the Babette blanket, I can do a little bit of crochet. So I'm trying to balance my project so that I've got a few things of interest to keep me excited about my knitting and my crochet, but trying to find some things that are mindless, that I can sit. We love a Scandi drama, love watching programs with subtitles, but none of these I can do while I watch subtitles. So hopefully I'm going to cast a couple of projects on. My works in progress are going to go up, but they will make sure that I can do my knitting every day. And of course, this is the Knit365 blog. It's all about me trying to do that little bit of knitting or crochet every day. So I need to have a couple of projects. That's my excuse. I'm sticking with it. I'm sure you're all very supportive. So that's finished objects and works in progress. So I think we'll come on to stash top up, but before I just need a slurp of coffee. That's better. Okay, we're not doing too bad. The clock is telling me we are up to 29 minutes-ish. We're pretty far through the video, so we're doing well. It's not going to be over an hour. Definitely not. So, stash top-up time. This is very exciting. So, I have some wool. So, this is by Midwinter Yarns, and I'll pop their details below. I took part in a crowdfunder last year that Estelle and I think it's her husband from Midwinter Yarns that were running, and they wanted to raise funds so that they could produce British wool, dye it in the UK, sort of very much all about the heritage, the provenance of the sheep to the dye process. So this is the black and blue yarn, and it's 100% Welsh wool. It is a blue-faced Leicester and a black BFL. And the crowdfunder was in order for them to take the fleeces from the sheep, be able to spin it and produce a yarn and then dye it. So I took part in the crowdfunder. I love supporting small local business, as you know from previous videos if you've been here for a while. And I love being part of something new, really. And it was such a great opportunity to support a local business and get some wool at the same time. So I took part in the crowdfunder, and my reward for the crowdfunder was 3 balls of wool. At the end of last year then, they had the wool, they were going to get ready to dye. So we were all contacted and asked to choose our colours. So I chose this lovely golden yellow colour. So this is Eternal Dalek. It has a brilliant name. I don't know if it's a Doctor Who reference. I don't watch it. But this is Eternal Dalek. And I also then chose this lovely navy, which it's just gone really bright and sunny. So I don't know if that's going to show up on the camera. This is Captain's Coat. So I needed to choose. I had three skeins, and I needed to choose what I was going to be using the yarn for. And I thought, one of my projects on my goals and for 2021 is a bubble sweater. So I very quickly went online. I did some maths, I did some calculations, and I ordered my 3 skeins for my reward. But they also had extra yarn that they were able to dye and produce from the campaign that they ran. So I picked up an extra 4 skeins. So I'm going to make my bubble sweater out of this, and I just can't wait. I've already got a bubble sweater by West Knits. It's going to be steeked and turned into a cardigan. That's on hold because of COVID. I can't get to my local yarn shop to see Jenny, and I'm not brave enough to do it on my own. So I've got a bubble cardigan coming that is, I say I'm doing that, it's in that corner, you can't see it, that will come in future videos. But when I put it on, I was like, oh, I quite like this as a jumper now. I don't think I want it as a cardigan. I'll have it as a cardigan, but I wanted to make a jumper. So I'm really excited to use these colours together. Oh, they are. The sun's gone in a little bit now. You can see the blue. So I think that's going to be fantastic that I've got a lovely navy blue jumper, which is perfect colours for me, with this lovely flash of gold and yellow that is going to make the bubbles. So stash top up, but supporting local business. I bought those last year, so I didn't actually pay for those. You know, that was last year's money, so I haven't paid for these 3. I did pay extra for these 4. So hey ho, what are you going to do? Support small business and get some really funky yarn to make a new project. So I've got that. The next stash top up, again, I paid for this last year, but it's only just arrived. So I'll show it off now because it's, in terms of top up, it's just arrived. There is a amazing yarn company in America called Lady Dye Yarns, and they have some amazing hand-dyed yarn and colours, but what they also do is produce kits, and it's one of their big USPs is that they come up with an idea and a theme, always topical as well, that they're really quick off the mark. So they've recently just done a Bridgerton colourway. So if you've just discovered Bridgerton over Christmas, they've now got a kit out for Bridgerton with colours from the series. The dresses and things in that are amazing. We binge watched it in a weekend. But they did a kit at the end of last year for Rent, the musical. And it was the 25th anniversary recently of Rent, and they wanted to create a kit, but also to raise money for much needed awareness and charity. So they've been able to donate a certain percentage of the proceeds to LGBT charities local to them in America. So again, I was so pleased to be able to get on board with that and take part in it. So I have some lovely yarn. So this is the sort of darky grey main colour, and this is a lovely sort of creamy colour. So the this is the Timeless colourway. It's 100% merino, and this is the Chadwick colourway, also 100% merino. And yeah, I'm very much looking forward to working these up. The project that you get to make with the kit is a hat this time around, and I'm going to be making the knitted hat, and the hat pattern is by Brooklyn Boy Knits. I'll have to pop a picture of the hat on screen now because I didn't get a photo ready on my iPad, so I can't show you there. But basically the hat is going to say it'll have 525,600 in the numbers, so 525,600, which are the number of minutes in a year, and it's a big reference. There's a song about it within the musical. Got these lovely little stitch markers here as well, but lady dye yarns, and then so you've got 525,600. I don't want to open it because I like it. There's a little rent one, light my candle. So there's some great stitch markers. We've got a couple of stickers. The stitch markers are made by DK Graham over on Instagram. Yeah, so I'm very much looking forward to this. I'm making this as a gift knit for a very, very dear friend of mine. Emily is actually a doctor in Rent. She has a doctorate in musical theatre's response to the HIV and AIDS crisis in the 80s and 90s. And she studied Rent and also Angels in America. So when I saw that they were doing a Rent kit, I had to just get on board and then I'm going to make the hat for Emily, and I think it's just going to be a lovely gift. I'm happy to talk about it. Emily has watched some of my videos. I've not told her I'm making it. So Emily, if you have made it to this video, there's a hat coming for you. So I'm going to work on that this month, hopefully as well. I'm going to get that cast on, but I'm really excited for that. I will also say though, before I just finish up on the Rent hat, I have another kit of this to give away as a prize to my lovely community. The kit's shipped in the beginning of December, and by mid-January, my kit hadn't arrived. We were doing tracking with the US Postal Service, and it was lost. So Lady Dye Yarns, a fantastic service, said that they dye up a few extra kits just in case that happens. They sent me another kit, and it arrived within 48 hours of them shipping it, which kind of showed that we thought the original kit had been lost. No. Sadly, after the second kit arrived, 2 days later, the first kit arrived. What are the chances? So I offered to send it back to them, but they said no, they were more than happy for me to keep the first kit. So I'm going to offer this up as a giveaway on this channel to you all. So I will have a kit with the yarn, the patterns, and the stitch markers. We are on about 850-ish subscribers now, and I would love to get to 1,000 people in our community. So I will probably do a 1,000 subscriber giveaway. Maybe a few more little grey girl goodies. We'll have the Rent kit. So I'm going to keep that for maybe another couple of weeks. It shouldn't, you know, we're growing every month, which is fantastic, and it's amazing support from all of you. I've talked about that in my previous videos. So I will keep it for another month or so, and then when we get to 1,000, we'll do a special video, and then we'll have one of these lovely Lady Dye yarn kits with thanks to them because they were very, very kind and supportive. So that's my stash top up. And then very quickly, my final one, I didn't buy this, but it's wool that's come into the house. Emily is my very dear friend. We met through musical theatre and our shared love of that. I have another very good friend, Beatrice, who lives in Sweden. We did a musical theatre group, Secret Santa, and Beatrice sent me loads of lovely goodies including some lovely Swedish chocolate that I've not eaten yet because, you know, I'm being healthy in January and now February. But I also had some amazing wool from Beatrice. And this is a 60% wool, 25% polyester, but it's 15% reflective material. Now, you can't see this properly on the video because it's too light. But where you see these lovely grey flecks, actually the grey flecks are reflective material. So if you have Deliveroo, Just Eats, any of those cycling delivery companies around wherever you live in the world, you may notice that when the car headlights shine on their jackets, it really lights up brightly as a reflective colour. This wool has that in there. So it's an amazing gift, very health and safety conscious from Beatrice. And I'm going to make a hat out of this. I might make one. I'll see if I can make a hat, 2 hats. If not, I'm going to stripe these together. Dennis the Menace style, red and black. But it'll be great. I used to do quite a lot of running. I haven't run for ages and ages, but actually a hat to go running that's reflective, health and safety is very good. So I was really lucky. My Secret Santa, obviously not secret now, I know it's Beatrice, but my Secret Santa gave me some wool. So I've got a couple of balls of these in my package that I'm going to turn into a hat. So let's have another slurp of tea. That is everything for the stash top up. Okay. If you are still with me, fantastic. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's do the giveaway. In my first video of the year, I obviously talked about my knitting goals, and the video was titled Goals and Giveaways. So I have, I've said before about my love of the little grey girl and Gemma and her project bags. I think they're fantastic. You know, my beau Saron is living in this giant extra large bag. I showed you my other little grey girl bag just now with my baubles in. So I purchased these from Gemma's website over Christmas. And just as a thank you really from me to you for being part of this community, I've really enjoyed meeting you all virtually, chatting. I try and answer every comment that I get left. Sometimes it takes me 2 or 3 weeks. Sometimes I'm a little bit quicker. Life gets in the way, doesn't it? But I wanted to share my love of the little grey girl bags. So I have this lovely small project bag, which is this blue and yellow square with a little handle. The bags are great. They are fully lined. So we've got that one. And then we have this lovely, so this will be a pyramid style bag. You can see brand new. I'm not going to open it because I don't want to ruin it. You can have the first look through it, whoever the lucky winner is. So this is the grey circle bag. So I'm going to take a pause for a moment and I'm going to hand over to future Martin to take us through the prize giveaway draw. We're going to use a random YouTube comment generator. And all you needed to do to be in with a chance of winning either of these bags was just leave a comment on my goals and giveaways video. I think there are over 200 comments, which was just, it was just amazing. Again, thank you so much for your participation and interaction. So I'm going to stop. Right, here we go then for the prize draw for the bag giveaway. So we're on a YouTube random comment picker. And I've popped in the URL of the video. We want to take out duplicate users and we want to, yeah, that's it, I think. Let's click get YouTube comments. So we have 116 unique comments, which is just amazing. So start the raffle and pick the random winner. So let's go for the silvery bag because that's the first one that I've just picked up. So the giveaway for the silver bag is Clasina. So Clasina said that she loved, or they loved, Stephen West and Hoey Locatelli's patterns, which is great because I've got lots of those on my list. So congratulations, Clasina. I will comment on your comment to say that you are a winner, and then you can get in touch with me to claim your prize. And then we have pick another winner. So then this one for the blue bag is the lovely Georgina. Georgina has been with me almost since the beginning as a big supporter and comments on all of my videos. Lots of long comments. We have really great chats. So congratulations to Georgina. So again, I will reply on your comment to let you know that you were a winner. And if you can let me know your details, we will get the bags packed up. Yeah, just to clarify before I hand back to him, I've done the draw. I'll reply to the winners, congratulations, and I'll pop my email address in below in the comments. And if you drop me an email with your details, I will arrange to get your prize packaged up and get it posted off to you. Right, back to him. So there we have it. Congratulations to the winners of those prizes. And I said, once again, thank you very much for being part of the lovely community that we're growing here on my little bit of YouTube. Final thing then, before we draw this video to a close. If you're only here for the knitting or the crochet content, I'm more than happy to say goodbye to you now. We're going to move on to sewing just for a very quick couple of minutes. I mentioned at the end of last year that I had bought a sewing machine and I wanted to learn how to sew. I'd never really done it. I've taken the approach to my sewing that I take to my knitting and crochet. I'll find something I want to make. I won't know what I'm doing, but I'll just jump in and see what happens, and I'll probably teach myself on YouTube. So this is never going to become a sewing channel. I'm absolutely a knitter who crochets, and that is my primary passion and love. But I thought I might like to share just a couple of things that I end up sewing. A few of you had commented on my video where I talked about the sewing machine, telling me the things that you love to sew and love to make. So wanted to share some of that with you now. I started off by making 2 little bags. So I had some old jeans that had holes in the knees and the seat. So I didn't want to just throw them away. So I have made 2 little bags. I learned how to put in a zip. That was fiddly. The first one doesn't quite meet in the middle. The second one is a lot better. So practice does make perfect. It's a lined bag with this lovely orange fabric. And in this one, I'm keeping all my threads and bobbins so that they don't get all mixed up. So it was just an old pair of jeans that I worked out how to make a little bag, lined it, did the zip as I was going along, turned it inside out, and voila, 2 little bags. So I thought it was a great way to use up some old jeans, learn a new skill. I have more denim jean material, so I will probably end up making a few more. I'm toying with the idea. I love my local charity coffee shop, Big Moose. We've talked about them before. If you've seen my Big Moose videos where I've been in the shop, they're lovely orange colour. I might try and continue to practice my skills, but once I feel a little bit more confident, I might do not a limited edition run because I'm not that special, but you know, I might make a handful of bags and I might try and sell them over on my Instagram page or set up a little Etsy page to raise some money for Big Moose. They're a not-for-profit organisation helping with mental health and homelessness. It's a really great charity. And if I can feel like I can make some bags that are useful, that I'm proud of, that I would be happy to sell, and I can raise some money and awareness for Big Moose, I'm more than happy to do it. I tried these little simple pouches to start with, but I'm going to have another go now and try and make a box. I think you do something with a corner and I'll work that out. So I've made 2 little bags, And yeah, that was really fun and interesting. We did a little bit of top stitching. For those of you in the UK, look, there's a little bit of a pucker in there. The top stitching is not quite straight. If you watch the Great British Sewing Bee, Esme Young, she would be slapping my wrists for the quality of my top stitch. But hey, I'm a beginner. I'm happy to learn. That one's a little bit better. It's a bit straighter. So that was that. And then the second project that I made, and this is, I promise, this is my only ever proper project. I've made curtains for my niece's bedroom. So these are for niece 2. If you follow me over on Instagram, you will have seen these already. I popped a post up about these earlier in the week. So we've got eyelets along the top. This is the Scion or Sion Fox, however you pronounce it, Sion Fox design. She's got a lovely little tent in her bedroom. Yeah, so they are the curtains that I made. They're fully lined with blackout material. So I went up 2 sides, along the top, inside out, then flipped it the right way so that I had a lovely neat seam on the inside, added the top with the holes, cut them through, popped the little poppers on, hand sewed the bottom, and oh, I am so chuffed and so pleased with myself. I found a video on YouTube of a lady who made curtains. Clearly, she's been making curtains all her life. She whipped through it and the video was like 11 minutes long, how to make line curtains. Reader, it took me 9.5 hours to do these. I kind of lost the plot towards the end of last Sunday. And I thought, if I don't do the hand sewing and do the hem, I'm probably not going to finish them. They'll just sit there because I completely lost the plot with it because it just took me so long. But I hope you'll agree, they look great. It's my little top stitching. That was much more successful. I went really slowly. So I made some curtains and I was really pleased. And I've now got an order from my sister-in-law who's jealous of my niece's curtains and wants curtains for her bedroom. Fortunately, it's the same size window, so it's an attic room, so won't take very long. And my mum wants curtains for her spare room, which is where my nieces sleep when they do go over, outside of coronavirus times and lockdown, of course. So I'm making curtains for my mum's spare room. And the nieces have also then asked, or the oldest niece, who's 6, asked if she could have matching bedding for the curtains. So I'm now needing to learn how to make a duvet cover, which I'm thinking is just, it's going to be easier than the curtain because I just go up, and then put poppers on the bottom. We'll see. But there we go. So I'm getting into my sewing a little bit, and I think home furnishings, it's a good, easy introduction. You know, I'm not making clothes. I have got those pattern books I talked about in the previous video that I bought from Stuart, of the lovely wool patch. So I'm hopeful that I'm going to get to Stuart's patterns at some point in the future and have a go at making clothes for the kids. But for now, I've got my my upholstery, my curtains. I think I'm doing some dance. My curtains, my bedding. And I think they're going to be a good introduction to help me build up my confidence and my sewing skills. And that's everything. So we've covered all of my January. It's been a busy, crazy, hectic, but productive month. We continue to be in a lockdown here in Wales. I think the schools maybe starting to go back towards the end of February, but I don't expect lockdown to end as we go into March. It's my birthday, early March. I'm going to be 40. So I didn't plan on spending my 40th locked down at home. I would love to have been in Paris, London, New York. No, sadly, I'll be staying safe at home with my knitting, which is fine. We can celebrate another time. So actually, it's been quite good that I've been locked down at home again. I've been able to work on all of my projects, which is great. And I'm happy to stay home, happy to stay safe. And, you know, again, a thank you if anyone's watching that is a key worker that is going out to work to keep us all safe, whether that's fire, police, NHS, you know, I very much do appreciate it. My parents both work in social care and have both been out working throughout the all of the lockdown since last year. So I understand the pressure that you're all under. And I'm doing my bit. I'm staying safe at home and just doing my knitting, recording my videos and talking to all of you lovely people here in my little bit of YouTube in my community. So I'm going to leave the video there. If you have liked what you've seen, please give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment below. I said I will always respond to your comments. I love chatting to you. I love learning about what you're making, what your thoughts are on this video. If you follow me on Instagram, please chat to me in there. Lots of you tagged me in your plans for 2021 over on Instagram. That was fantastic to be able to bring the community to life even more and for me to be able to see you and what you're working on. So please continue to do that. If you have liked what you've seen and you don't subscribe, please click the subscribe button below, or there's a little card coming up at the end of the video that you can click on to subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything to subscribe, but it helps me grow my community and you'll get notified of when my new content is available. So the next video will be towards the end of February. I'm going to share more progress on my Beauceron sweater, and that's about it. So I hope you stay safe. I hope you get lots of crafting done wherever you are in the world and whatever you're up to. So until we speak again, happy crafting.